Today, the park in Collierville Square is now officially Town Square Park. Collierville Public Information Officer Mark Heiberger said recent questions from citizens prompted the resolution Monday night by the mayor and board of aldermen.
The desire was to put to bed the confusion over what is the name of the park.
The catalyst for it all, this old monument right smack dab in the middle of the park, which bears the name Confederate Park at the bottom.
That is probably what started some of the misperceptions about the name of the park.
But Heiberger said that name was never mentioned in any of their research on the square, dating all the way back to the 1800s. These old surveys and plats show the park never had a name, and Confederate Park was never up for consideration in the past or the present.
The park has been referred to for generations and generations here as just Town Square, actually. It just seemed most appropriate that we name it Town Square Park.
This is one of the few that I do trust to come out this late at night.
They're quick, easy, and convenient. With a handful of quarters, cars can once again look new.
Most of the time I wash at the house, but yeah, I mean when I'm out, I'm always washing my cars.
The car wash sitting on the corner of Poplar and Avalon at the busy Midtown intersection is a spot frequented by Wally Langford, a car collector. But also, this same spot nearly 24 hours prior, police say DeAndre Johnson was shot. A teddy bear soaked by the afternoon rain marks that spot. Witnesses say they heard about 3 shots on Sunday night. Johnson's friends added more balloons to the small memorial to remember the father of 2. But for customers like Cynthia Bean, who come here for the ice, she believes more can be done to make her feel safe.
Since they don't have an attendant 24 hours a day, I think that they would probably need to have one to come around maybe every 4 hours. Just to do a spot check.
A spot check Langford says he does even before pulling up for a wash.
I look over the situation before I come up. You know, this is Memphis.
A rainy start to our week, and remnants of Harvey are expected to continue. Dale Lane with the Shelby County Office of Preparedness says that we can't prevent flash flooding. Water levels on the Mississippi are well below flood stage, so our rivers and streams are not at risk of flooding either.
The good news is that right now the Mississippi River is below 34 feet. It's actually way down. It's below 5 feet, and it's not projected to get above that.
Memphis Public Works is also monitoring the weather conditions. They warn city streets may be a different story, and to watch out for standing water.
And you do have the potential for flooding to happen in low-lying areas. So those are the areas that we will work to notify or put notice out if there is anything that we can do.
Crews are inspecting and clearing out debris from storm drains, inlets, and other potential problem areas to help minimize flooding as much as possible.
Obviously, it's important that those be open and unrestricted to stormwater flow, which would otherwise cause it to potentially flood or pond and endanger the public.
They encourage homeowners to do their part as well.
So to keep your bag, trash, and leaves out of the gutters. When it rains heavily, they can easily wash into those areas and cause flooding. So keep them on the back of the curb, out of the way.
Joe, residents in this area say speeding around this curve is definitely a concern, and you can see the signs. That is where the mailbox was, and this is where it is now.
Well, Joe, here's the ice cream van Mamadou Ba was driving during the attack. You see his windows here all busted out, and now he's gotten so much support. Even a GoFundMe page now set up, people wanting to help.
This tree here at Overton Park is about 180 years old, according to the Overton Park Conservancy. And tonight, some people who use the dog park here are wondering why this tree is still here a month after that storm.
Joe, still no arrest in this car wash shooting, though we did learn some tragic news today that the shooting has turned into a homicide. The reason for this growing memorial here behind me in Midtown, and it's possible police say that the victim knew his attacker.
A lot of people are talking about the future here, what's happening, where we go from here, where we can improve, where this country can improve in the civil rights. So let's see over here if we can get Bernie Sanders on here.
Your message today in Memphis is what?
My message is that we can never forget what Dr. King stood for. And it's not enough to just look back and honor him. We have got to continue the fight that he gave his life for.
Well, as I had the privilege of serving as the U.S. Labor Secretary and leading the Civil Rights Division labor rights and civil rights are what Dr. King's life was all about. And what I've seen today is remarkable determination.
Breaking news alert, Chopper 5 is live over a crash at Lamar and Barksdale. Take a look at your screen, all those flashing lights. We can see that a small SUV has slammed into the back of that large semi there. We are still waiting to learn more details from police.
All righty, welcome back to the second half of Friday Football Fever. Time now to go up and away in Chopper 5. Our first flyby takes us over Brighton, Tennessee, where the Brighton High Cardinals host the Wildcats of Bolton High School. Bolton down big but driving. Darrell Warren Jr. on the sweep. Watch him somehow weave his way out of trouble, then find daylight, only to be tripped up at the last second with green grass in front of him. Wow, good field position, and the Wildcats take advantage. Quarterback Ryan Bevel drops back to pass. No one open, but the open field beckons. He turns it on, heads for the pylon, dives to it. Touchdown Bolton, and the Wildcats will go for two. Bevel with the fade route to the back of the end zone. It is caught for the score, 35-14, but Brighton goes on to get the victory. Final 42-27. Our next flyby takes us over Millington, Tennessee, where the Trojans welcome the Chiefs of Craigmont. Chiefs with a 20-14 lead in the third quarter, wanting some more. Senior running back Eric Niles, hard running inside. He bulls his way to the 27-yard line. Then Craigmont goes to the air over the middle. Big lick here, but Derek Williams hangs onto the ball at the 16. 2 plays later, DeAndre Carter looks to the fade route. It's up for grab, but Jordan Lake will haul it in for the touchdown. Chiefs extend the lead, add even more. 2-point conversion. The pass complete to Williams. Craigmont up 28-14. Chiefs go on to win it. Final 34-21.
Chief Herb Brewer has run the Walls Police Department for 4 years. He's seen the destruction drugs have done to his DeSoto County community.
Large outbreak of overdoses on heroin here lately.
According to the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics, there have been more opioid deaths in DeSoto County during the first 6 months of 2017-21 than anywhere else in Mississippi.
Gently insert the tip of the
These are numbers his department is trying to turn around. He and his officers took a class on Wednesday to learn how to properly use Narcan, a drug meant to reverse the effects of an opioid overdose.
All I heard is just gunshots.
It was anything but a normal day of work for Luis Flores.
Guy came running saying that to call the police, so I called the police, and next thing I know, the guy was laying down on the floor, I guess dead.
Police say this after a man was shot and killed while trying to rob another man near East Parkway and Walker Avenue, right in front of Enrique's auto shop where Luis works. Investigators were on the scene for hours, and witnesses say they're not used to this type of crime in the Cooper Young neighborhood.
In less than 24 hours, crews will transform Shelby Farms into the vision Diego Weingartner saw about a year ago as he rode his bike through the park.
Taking the energy that I was feeling and also looking back at the history of Memphis music, the legacy, the rich history, it just seemed like if you combine those two elements and then also this incredible setting, Shelby Farms Park, it was the perfect formula to put on a music festival.
12-year-old Nazim Houston Jr. is struggling to walk. After all, that's what he says he was doing when all of this started.
All I heard was pow, and I just started running. I didn't do no looking back. I just started running.
Nazim tells me he was walking home from the store Wednesday night when he was shot in the leg.
I looked down and blood was dripping, and I had a hole in my leg.
Police say they found 7 shell casings at the scene near Saffron's and Manassas.
That's the number one thing I basically try to prevent, and it happened. So yeah, I was in shock. I was hurt.
Nazim's dad is a single father of 3.
Got all my kids out of foster care. Been raising them by myself since then.
That's about all I know on the piano, but the artist that will be playing this piano and gracing this stage this weekend in Oxford will be a whole lot better. Some Memphians might know this tune. It's written by a Memphian, W.C. Handy, in the early 1940s.
Ragtime is the first truly original American music.
The music predating 1939 is coming alive in Oxford this weekend for the 43rd annual World Championship Old-Time Piano Playing Contest. This pianist is the only 4-time champion.
All I can say is that I love the music.
Pianists as young as 8 and as old as 79 perform for a small prize. To win, they must show a wide range of music, but it's about much more than just the music.
You can't just play the piano. You have to be an entertainer, because ragtime was popular music. You have to smile at the audience, you have to converse with them, and you have to entertain them, and you get points for that.
The contest almost never made it to year 43. 2 years ago, it nearly shut down.
We were going to end it after 41 years just because we were out of steam.
But the Ole Miss music program offered to take it in, and this is now the second year the contest is being held on campus.
And it's been wonderful.
So the toe-tapping music is living on. Music fans of all ages are encouraged to come out and enjoy some music of a golden era long since gone by some of the best musicians in the world.
These are tunes that you'll whistle or hum for 2 weeks after the contest is over.
The event goes on each night, starting tonight until Sunday. In Oxford, Chris Luther, WMC Action News 5.